What's going on, fish nerds? Hope you've had a great week. Today I want to bring you along and walk you through my feeding routine and just show you all the different foods that I've got and that I feed to my fish and to the turtles. I'll probably save the turtles for the last, so hang around for that if you want to see me feed the turtles. But before I start feeding the fish, I just want to show you what all foods I have and what I feed, kind of rotating through. I have a lot of foods that I've got right now that I just put them in a rotation. I'm not saying that these are the best foods or that this is the ideal rotation of foods or assortment or anything like that. This is just what I've got right now. I try a bunch of different things. I order new stuff based on what I think will be a good food at a good price, and I cycle through stuff. And so this is just what I've got right now. This isn't me saying this is how you should feed your fish. These are just the foods that I've got. So getting right into it, got the Sarah O-Knit tabs. I'm actually low on these. There's just a few left in here with the Sarah O-Knit tabs. I really like this food. I wish it was a little bit more affordable, but I do really like it. The fish really like it, and it's handy that you can just take one tab, stick it to the glass, and go. And then it's kind of a slow release thing, and it all gets eaten. So really like the Sarah O-Knit tabs. Let's throw these over here. And for our small fry, if any of my guppies have just dropped fry, I like to have the first bites on hand. It's got a pretty high crude protein percentage, so good for getting fry started. Really like that. And we've got our Worldly shrimp pellets. Hey, he's got something worldly. Who cares? These I just mainly will throw in for snails if by some odd spectacle my snails aren't reproducing as fast as I want. Or I may throw them in before I go to bed after the lights are out for some of the catfish. And I've had this for a couple years, and that's all it's missing. So I don't feed this a lot, but I do feed it some. And we've got the New Life Spectrum community fish. Fish really seem to like this food. They go after it pretty good. It's got a nice strong smell to it. New Life Spectrum's got a really good reputation, and I think rightly deserved. Good food like that. And shout out to LR Brett's. Got our Tetracolor tropical granules. Another food that's actually really, really affordable. This is actually a lot cheaper than a lot of your medium range flake foods. So I really like this stuff. I'm gonna have to check out Gemco. I forget who was interviewing him. I think it was Sergeant Tank was interviewing him, and he slipped it out that he actually buys this stuff from Gemco and gets it a lot cheaper than you get on Amazon. So I'm gonna have to check that out. And of course, we've got Aquarium Co-op Omnivore Pellet Mix. As it says, the perfect staple food. And I feed these in every tank except for the shrimp tank. The only reason I don't put it in the shrimp tank is because it is a floating pellet, and so it just takes it a while to sink down. I prefer something that's going to sink when I'm feeding the shrimp. But really good food. Fish really seem to like it. Aquarium Co-op. And this is the Cobalt Tropical Flakes. This is kind of a staple just because I buy it in such a big tub, and I just buy this on Amazon. I want to say it's like 30, 35 bucks, something like that for this big, is it 2-pound tub? Full focus. However much 453.6 grams is. So I want to say it's like a 2-pound tub, something like that. Maybe 3 pounds. I don't know. You do the math. You get on Google and do the conversion from grams to ounces, and then we'll know. And this is just a spirulina flake. I really like this food. The fish really like this food. It's got a nice good stink to it, but they go after it really good. Or excuse me, they go after it very well. I'll correct myself on my grammar. So I really like this. Actually, I'll just open it up and show it to you. You guys know what spirulina flake looks like. I don't know why I'm opening this and showing it to you. I just feel like it. So I'm going to do it. This is stuff. And you buy it in this big bulk container. It comes in huge flakes. This is after I've gone through it a lot and broken it up, but I mean it comes in huge flakes. But I also like the container and how sturdy it is and closes up real tight, real solid. So there's that. And for my shrimp, I've got Bacter AE. Really good for the shrimplets. It supports healthy biofilm in your tank. So really good food for baby shrimp and a really good starter. So it really helps with the survival rate on your shrimplets if you're trying to breed your shrimp. So Glass Garden Bacter AE. If you need this stuff, hit up Flip Aquatics. He's got it. I need to order from Rob at Flip Aquatics and get some more of the Shrimp King. I am out of it. So that's why I'm not showing you that today. I'm out of Shrimp King. Need some more. And this is just spirulina powder. It's 100% spirulina. I bought this on Amazon. I actually had it on hand because I had bought it not for fish, but it's actually a human grade food supplement. I don't eat this stuff though. So since I don't eat it, and it's an extremely fine powder that essentially kind of dissolves in the water and just turns your water green, I use this as a fry food. And when it's still kind of clumped up at the top, the adult fish will go after it too, but eventually it ends up dissolving in the water, too small, in my opinion, for the adult fish. But really good for fry. And I also feed this to the shrimp. And seems to work very well. So I'm a fan of the spirulina powder. And of course, you can't raise bristlenose plecos without some green beans. I mean, come on now. So got the French style green beans. Be feeding that in a minute. So I've already got it open. And then for turtle foods, I've got Reptimin. This is the Reptimin baby, just because they are young turtles. And then this is the same container, but it's not the same food inside. The guy I got the turtles off of just used this smaller container to put regular adult Reptimin in. So they get the baby Reptimin and they get the adult Reptimin. And we've got omega-1 juvenile turtle pellets. And I actually just got this in today. So they haven't gotten this yet, or at least not from me. So I don't know if he fed this or not. He had a big assortment of foods that he fed them. So just getting them some variety. The juvenile turtle pellets, I'm going to feed them this here in a minute towards the end of the video. And then also for the turtles, got omega-1 shrimp pellets. This was recommended by a diamondback terrapin breeder on turtleforum.com. She recommended I try this out. So she actually gave me a pretty good list of foods to try out, and both of these were on that list. So that's what I've got in foods right now. And today I believe I'm going to go ahead with the cobalt flakes. It's been a few days since I've given this. So let's get started with the feeding. And everything gets this. The shrimp, all the fish tanks, everything but the turtles gets the cobalt flakes. And everything seems to really like it and go after it. This stuff comes in some pretty big flakes too if you don't crush it up real good. Let me switch hands here real quick. I'm right-handed and I don't trust myself to not make a mess trying to feed with my left hand. So we'll go up here to the shrimps first. And I'll come back through and we can see them getting on the food as I cycle through the different tanks. This tank still doesn't have anything in it. It's getting pretty nasty. I'm gonna have to break it down again and set it back up. But now the guppies. Throw what's left of that in here with the shrimps. Here for these guys. And I'll actually throw a little bit extra in here because we do have all the baby Plecos in here and they'll eat this stuff too. I am about to give them green beans though, so I'm not going to give them too awful much. But I'll give them plenty for it to settle all over in the tank. And I'm pretty sure I do overfeed, but it doesn't present a problem just because I do have the drip system rolling. So if you don't have an automatic water change and you're not overdoing your water changes to compensate for your overfeeding, don't overfeed. But so far I've had no problems thanks to the water changes. So now go down here. All the platies and the larger bristlenose, well, larger of the fry, I should say. Everybody gets pretty excited about this. I've got some culls to pull out of this tank, and I've also got some culls. I got a lot of culls to pull in this tank. Most of the non-plecos in this tank are culls because all my healthy swordtails I pulled out into these two tanks. So these will most likely end up being turtle companions in the future. Feed the swordtails. And I've also got 7 of the super red plecos from my very first batch of fry are in here as well. Look at all this algae, guys. This is like a forest of algae. It's ridiculous is what it is. It's ridiculous. Everybody's getting excited about the food. Look at this fish, guys. That's a swordtail. She doesn't look like a swordtail, but the day after I got these swords in, my biggest female dropped a bunch of fry, and this was one of the fry. And she grew twice as fast as any of her siblings, was a good 2 to 3 times bigger than all the other fish, and was totally white. She's picked up a little color now that she's matured, but now she's also starting to present kind of a bent spine situation. But I don't know, I just think she's a unique fish. I plan on keeping her as long as she sticks around. So alright, get the rest of the swordtails down here in the 20 tall. I also have a trio of guppies down here. One female, other female, and here's my male. And this trio is available on fishnerdstore.com. This male and these 2 females, if anybody's interested. So go check them out if you would like to. And now I need to go feed the 55. Trying to get a good enough pinch that'll be enough food, but still won't necessarily fall out of my fingers. Okay, this is a problem. Hang on, guys. There we go. Welcome to my living room. And this tank is in severe need of some pruning. Maybe a rescape too. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I've also got, I saw a few minutes ago, a few, looks like they may have been picking at them, but there were a few angelfish eggs on this leaf. Mom and Dad are getting in the way now. You can kind of see it. There we go. If it'll focus. There. There we go. Right above his head. There we go. This is Gil here. He is my man. My main man. If I have one fish that I would cry if something happened to it, this is the one. Gil's my dude. And he is the boss. The boss. Got my Cardinals. Alright, it is time to feed some turtles. Turtle time! Forgot to shut this door. I'll get all the heat out of the garage. Turtle, turtle. I'm not turtle enough for the turtle club. What's up, buddy? Nom nom time. Whoop. He didn't like that. I'm gonna roll my sleeve up. I'm wearing a long sleeve button up dress shirt, and I was about to stick my arm down in this tank, and that would have been a mistake. Alright, there we go. You guys know it's feeding time? This one here, this is Donatello. Actually, I'm gonna call him Donnie. This here, this one is Raph. Say hi, Raph. So, Raphael is cool but rude. Michelangelo is a party dude. Come on, Leo. Cooperate with me. Here's Leo. Leo was on the thumbnail of my last video. Come on, guys. Play nice. Alright, where's Mikey? Here he is, hiding in the back. Mikey's my littlest turtle. I apologize if the camera gets off center. It's hard to pay attention to the camera angle and catching a turtle at the same time. Okay, everybody's in there. Let's get food. Where'd I put it? Ha! So We're gonna go with the juvenile turtle pellets today, because that's the new food, and this has probably got a, oh, my hand's wet. This has probably got a seal on it that I may have to set the camera down to get it open, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to set the camera down. See you guys in a second. All right, got it open. Here's what it looks like. And feeding these guys, what I do, there's a bunch of different recommendations on feed the amount, the size of their head, or feed them, you know, just once a day for 15 minutes. The advice that I decided to go with and follow is to feed them once a day as much as they can eat in 15 minutes. So I just keep feeding them the entire time they're in here for 15 minutes. And then once their 15 minutes is up, they're done eating and they go back in the pond. And the reason I take them out of the pond and into the container is, one, so I can get the food right in front of them and it's not going to get lost somewhere in the tank, but also because turtles can be messy eaters. And so this contains all that messiness in here in the little container. Sorry for my finger in front of the lens there. And it keeps the water cleaner. I like how these guys eat. They don't just bite it, they lunge at it. I'm also thinking, or rather hoping, that the approach of picking them up and putting them in the tub every time I'm going to feed them will get them more comfortable with being handled. If they start to recognize, hey, every time this guy picks me up, I get fed. Not that I plan on making them be handled on a regular basis just for the sake of holding and petting. It's not the best for a turtle, but in case I do need to hold them or check them out, or if they have an injury or something like that, they're comfortable with it. And remember, kids, always wash your hands after you handle a turtle. Try to spread some over here to get that dog pile to spread out a little bit. And while these guys eat, I'm going to feed the Plecos. They've already come out to look at this guy. Look how sharp he is. That's not his eye, that's a snail. But seriously, oh, sorry. Wasn't even paying attention to the camera. Look how good looking he is. I need to clean this glass though. There's mom and other mom. But this guy, he is sharp. I love this fish. Excellent looking fish right there. Okay, so let's feed them. And you don't have to do this, I mean, you can just dump it all in one spot, but I prefer to just use a fork and spread it around, get it all over the tank, get it everywhere. Set this down here, that's a little difficult. Spread the love around a little bit. Sorry, I'm having to use the same hand to hold the phone and lift the top up. So I apologize for the bad view there for a second. Green beans all over the place. this side. I just like to spread it around like this just so that way all my smaller baby bristle nose, it's more accessible to them. I don't have to go around as far or search as long. Plus, sometimes if it's all in one spot, the bigger plecos will kind of compete for food. The male will kind of push the females around if he feels like they're too close to his green beans. I don't like fighting. I like everybody to get along and be nice. Okay, I'm going to take the rest of these, plop them in here. So that's all of that can. Put that away later. I've got this can for this tank. Everything loves green beans. It's not just the plecos. The platies, the swordtails, the snails, the guppies, they all like this stuff. So this is what, while you guys are getting this bad view, I'm hooking my pinky up underneath that while holding the camera, so I do apologize. That's the lid for this hole. My nephew knocked it down in there and I just haven't gone in to fish it out yet. But bristlenose everywhere. Everywhere. Check on the turtles again here in a second. Sorry for the bad view of my arm. What I need to do is get a tripod or something. What I need to do is get a legit camera instead of filming all this on my iPhone. That's what I need to do. Before we talk about that. I'm just gonna dump the rest of this over here on this side and call it good. Doop. And not a shred of green beans will be there in the morning, I assure you. These guys have wiped out that food already. Here you go, turtles. Oop. So, you probably remember, if you watched last week's video where I introduced the turtles, I said that until I find out the genders on these turtles, that I would probably just call them the Koopas. I've kind of decided against that. Once I said it, I didn't like it as much. So, they are indeed Leo, Raph, Donnie, and Mikey. until I find out whether they're boys or girls, at which point I'll just have to adjust and rename as necessary. But for now, that's who they are. And yes, I am able to tell based on size and the patterns on their heads. I am able to tell which one's which. The smallest one is Mikey. The two largest are Leo and Raph. Leo has the more intricate head pattern there. Raph has the big, it's kind of solid, like a solid dot with the two lines coming off of it. And Donnie here is the mid-sized one, whose patterning is kind of halfway in between Raph's and Leo's. Mikey's a little one over here. And it is suiting that Raph is named Raph because he seems to kind of be the biggest bully in the group. But I'm really, really enjoying these guys. They're a lot of fun. They're fun to watch. They got neat little personalities. Well, that is what I've got for you guys today. I apologize if that was probably a little close to my face there. But I've enjoyed doing this video. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you have, I hope you'll come back for more videos. Hit that subscribe button and that notification bell if you want YouTube to let you know when my next video comes out. I'm going to be trying to be consistent in releasing on Friday mornings, kind of late morning sometime in there. On Fridays every week is what I'm going to be shooting for. So thank you all very much for watching. Thank you guys so much for all the support, the comments, the likes, the subscriptions, all of it. You guys are awesome. God bless you, fish nerds, and I will see you next time.